Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Apopka High School welcomes you back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for Game 3 of the 10th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge, the game that pits the reputation of the Orlando Metro Conference against some of the best teams from the greater Central Florida area. And for this game number 3, we welcome our guests wearing the blue jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard from Eustis High School. They are the Panthers. And wearing the white jerseys, home on the scoreboard from Timber Creek High School, please welcome the Wolves. Let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Eustis. And we'll start at guard and forward with 6'4" junior, number 3, Benny Turner. At guard and forward, 6'3" junior, number 5, Carlton Walton. At forward, 6'2" senior, number 12, Corey Robinson. At forward, 6'2" senior, number 34, Jaden Green. And finally for the Panthers, at guard, 6'2" senior, number 4, Bradley Douglas. And the head coach of the Panthers in his 3rd year with Eustis, Mr. Coy Patterson. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Timber Creek Wolves, representing the Orlando Metro Conference in this game. We'll start at shooting guard with 6' senior, number 2, Dylan Holloman. At forward, 6'3" senior, number 5, Connor Racio. At guard, 6'1" junior, number 11, Michael Brown. At guard, 5'9" junior, number 32, Pierre Summers.
Who's the last one? Who did I miss?
Yo.
2'5", 11, 32, and
Your other starter.
what?
22.
And finally,
Who's 42?
22.
starting for the Wolves at guard, 6'4" junior, number 22, Zach Reinhardt. The head coach of the Wolves in his 7th year at Timber Creek, Mr. David Bailey. The officials for this afternoon's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. Today's game, like all of our games at the Metro vs. Florida Challenge, is being live streamed on our YouTube channel, Metro vs. Florida Challenge. Just search for it on your favorite mobile device, computer, or smart TV for live coverage of all 23 games here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium. My name is Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro vs. Florida Challenge, and I am joined by Neil Fisher of the Apopka Chief, and we are ready to take you through this 3rd game out of 23 here at Apopka High School.
That's right, Mark. And again, 3rd game. You've done a great job so far. We've had, unfortunately, we have not had either of the contests gone down to the buzzer, but both games have really showcased a couple of individuals who will be playing at the next level, being college.
We're going to miss at the Eustis ends to start things off. Michael Brown gets the rebound. Wolves basket by number 2, Dylan Holloman, to put them on the board.
And of course, Mark, this event is based on what you see in college. There's about half a dozen of them. All the public high schools in the Orange County are members of the Metro Conference. They take on a school outside of the Metro Conference, aka the Florida Contingency. So Timber Creek coming out here hot, moving the ball very well.
Bradley Douglas for 3.
Minute and a half here. For most of these teams, this is their opener. If it has not been an opener, it certainly is no more than the third game they've played this season. Timber Creek comes off a 21-7 season, 8-2 in District 7A4. As we're going to get a stoppage here. And that 21-7 season resulted in a district runner-up. Unfortunately, they were upset in last year's district championship tournament, so they did not advance to the FHSA postseason tournament. And of course, Eustis is a team that is always in the discussion for getting into the FHSA postseason tournament. They broke 20 wins. Actually, it was the first time in 4 years. They did have a significant lengthy period where they did have a consecutive streak of making those appearances in the FHSA postseason tournament. So Eustis went 21-9, 5-3 in Class 4A District 7.
Zach Reinhardt for 3.
And look for Bradley Douglas. He is an FABC All-State Class 6A 3rd team, Orlando Sentinel All-Area 4th team, and Florida Hoops Class of 2020 ranked him number 26, or 66.
And we're aware that we have some hung video issues here, so we're going to pause the stream real quick and see if we can't get that reset for you.
Is the audio still on? Audio still working? Okay. So with 5:44 left here in the first quarter, we have an 8-3 lead by Eustis, by Timber Creek. Again, this is the Metro versus Florida.
Who scored that?
Yo,
Who scored that?
who scored?
Michael Brown is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Foul's called against number 4, Bradley Douglas, his first.
You find out who scored? Hey, yo. So Eustis off to a bit of a slow start there, turned the ball over a couple times. They have fought their way back. And just as soon as they get the lead cut down to 1 possession, they turn the ball over again, which leads to this pair of free throws here at the by Michael Brown. One of 2. Timber Creek opening up in man-to-man, picking up the offense at mid.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your patience. We think we have the camera feed restarted now, and hopefully it will cooperate with us for a little while.
As we mentioned, this is really the beginning of the regular season. Most of these teams have played a couple of preseason games, but they've yet to go more than 2 into the regular season. We're at that same level too. We're beginning our regular season as we get another turnover. So far, the story of this game has been offensive rebounding for Eustis. Well, Wolves forcing Eustis into turnovers.
Wolves basket by Zach Reinhardt.
So nice little gimme there. Good ball passing on the interior, doing some tic-tac-toe passing. So again, Timber Creek coming off a 21-7 overall record, 8-2 in District 7A4. And they've really opened up as the more aggressive team on the inside here. Eustis relying more on perimeter shooting. And now Eustis going to full court man-to-man.
Foul is called against Corey Robinson for charging Zach Reinhardt. That's his second personal foul, the team's fifth. Tyree Patterson into the game.
Eustis again remaining in the full court man-to-man.
John Macon on the pass from Mookie Elmahound.
So again, passing, setting up an easy gimme there under the basket.
And so far, game 3 starting much better than game 2 for the Metro Conference.
Yeah, almost the opposite here, a 12-point lead for Timber Creek, the representative of the Metro Conference.
Foul is called against number 33.
So again, Mark, the premise of the Metro versus Florida Challenge is very simply the Metro Conference has a representative in each game. The Florida constituency has a representative. And at the end of the 23 games, we add up which representatives won more game. Now, the Metro Conference is all the public high schools located in Orange County. As once again, Eustis is having trouble getting those baskets inside the paint.
Ruscio is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line. Or no, strike that was on the floor. The foul is called against number 22, Conrad Thompson, his first. Esteban Diaz on the Wolves layup.
Found a crease there on the left side of that man-to-man defense and lowered the shoulder.
Foul's called against number 23, Mookie Elmahound. That's his first, the team's second.
So the first free throws for Esteban Diaz. Actually, it's not even.
Bradley Douglas goes 2 for 2 at the line. Macon on the rebound. Three won't fall there for Figueroa. Thompson gets the rebound, sends it to the corner. Hold is called against number 23, Mookie Omahound. That's a second personal.
So again, Timber Creek has played man-to-man throughout this first quarter.
Patterson is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against number 23, Mookie Omahound. That's his third personal foul. The team's fourth. Checking into the game for the Wolves, number 32, Pierre Summers. Bradley Douglas. I don't know who to give an assist and a steal to on that play, but it was, it was frenetic.
Quick pace there, Mark.
Foul's called against Eustis, number 10, Jericuto. That's his first personal foul, the team's seventh, and it will send Dylan Holloman to the line to shoot 1-on-1 bonus.
So before we get out of this first quarter here, we're going to have a couple free throws.
I think some of those players forgot that we were in 1-on-1 bonus. Foul is called against number 3, Anthony Figueroa on the block, his first.
So 4 seconds here. Oh, great idea there. Couldn't quite execute.
Patterson is fouled on a three-point attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot three. The foul called against Honoree. That'll be his first, the team's sixth.
And really, mistakes here on both teams as we close out this first period.
And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. It's a 7-point ball game. The Orlando Metro Conference, represented by the Wolves, on top, 19-12 at the end of 8 minutes. And welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi, the media director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, joining you here alongside Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. And prior to the shots, Dylan Holloman is fouled. It'll still go to the line, though, for bonus. The foul is called against Panthers number 10, Jarek Hutto, his second, the team's 8th. He makes the first, earns a second.
And by the way, Eustis has 8 fouls, so Timber Creek will be shooting at least one free throw for this entire second quarter.
Yeah, both teams in the bonus now, actually. And it rolls out for Bradley Douglas. Tough break for the Panthers there. Good full court pressure, though. Out of bounds, Panthers ball. So a tough rebound there, situation for the Wolves.
Yeah, and Timber Creek has gone man to man the whole way here.
Foul is called against number 2, Dylan Holloman. That's his first personal foul, the team's 7th, and it will send Jarek Hutto to the line to shoot 1-on-1 bonus. Doesn't fall, but they get the offensive rebound. Douglas can't get it down the baseline either, and the rebound is going to go this time to Michael Brown. Tyree Patterson gets the steal and is fouled at the other end of the court by number 11. Michael Brown is first, the team's 8th. Patterson will be shooting. Pierre Summers for 3.
I believe that's the first 3 of the game for Timber Creek, despite taking this 11-point lead.
Fouls called against number 11, Michael Brown, his second, the team's 9th at the line shooting, Nate Rembert.
So this is the second game of the regular season for Eustis. They are actually 3-4 in this event overall. Timber Creek's playing their first game, and they are 5-4 in this event, which also means they've competed in every one of the 9 previous editions.
Recio on the basket. I think that's Summers. Past Mauricio and then off to Summers. And Mauricio gets the ball taken away from him by Douglas. Can't get anything in transition. Wolves get there too fast. He'll go out to the corner, and he's got it.
Train the rain.
Bradley Douglas for 3.
So Eustis found themselves trailing by double digits here about halfway through the first quarter. They battled back to cut the lead down to 8. They're certainly finding the range since then, much better than they were. A strong rebound there. Strong rebound for number 22, Conrad Thompson.
Conrad Thompson scores 3.
So Thompson gets the rebound in the basket. He gets rewarded.
Foul is called against number 1, Nate Rembert.
Blue one.
Strike that, it's Eustis number 1, Nate Rembert. Holloman shooting 1-1, making the first.
So Holloman with 6 points, now up to 7. Make that 8 points.
Douglas to Robinson.
So now the lead's down to 5, Mark. This lead has been steadily cut into by Eustis.
Three-point basket by Zach Reinert.
Of course, no sooner do I say the lead is cut down to 5 than Timber Creek answers. And now an opportunity to further extend that lead here. Strong rebounding there by Dylan Holloman, getting under the basket there and using his shoulders, squaring up to the board. So Holloman, of course, had 8 points. He's now up to 10. Smooth stroke there by Holloman. Good follow through too as well. Oh, Holloman's going to take a breather here as we get towards the end of the first half.
Foul is called against number 33, Esteban Diaz, his second, the team's 10th. Will shoot double bonus for Carlton Walton.
Oh, and as you mentioned, Mark, both teams had fouls about as the second quarter began. Both teams were in the bonus for fouls. Now it's going to be 2 free throws for both teams the rest of the way. Eustis remaining in man-to-man, full court. Timber Creek's done a very good job of getting around that man-to-man. Good passing. They haven't put the ball on the floor much. And again, long tray there. But Anthony Figueroa got his body between a couple of Eustis players. And now seeing some excellent baseline passing.
Zach Reinert, 4-3 from Dylan Holloman.
So Reinert now is the leading scorer in the game, 10 points. Whoa. An opportunity for Timber Creek. Get the ball back up to 13, possibly even 14.
Foul is called against number 4, Bradley Douglas. His second. At the line shooting double bonus, Pierre Summers.
And Timber Creek is not going to have to rely on shooting from the 4. They're going to go to that free throw line, as you just mentioned, Mark. So certainly the odds would dictate that this lead would increase.
Is that him? Was that good?
Both free throws good, and now we have a 13-point lead. It wasn't that long ago the lead was cut all the way down to 5.
Block is called against number 32, Pierre Summers, his first personal foul. At the line, shooting double bonus, Nate Rembert. Figueroa can't get it to go. Another offensive board coming to Diaz. Not going to get that either. And the rebound finally goes to the Panthers. Three won't go for Reinhardt. Rebound under the basket, and it won't go. But Anthony Figueroa is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Foul is called against number 10, Jarek Hutto. That's his third.
First points of the ballgame scored by Figueroa. So Eustis, if you remember, started off shooting fairly consistently from three-point range, the outside, the perimeter, getting 6 of their first 8 points on outside shots. They've cooled off considerably here in the second quarter, which is part of the reason that they have fallen behind by 14 points. So with just about a minute left here, Mark, the concept.
Bradley Douglas on a Panther dunk.
So as I was saying, Douglas, who now has 12 points, the concept of this Metro versus Florida Challenge is that each game there's a representative from the Metro Conference. They take on a representative from the Florida contingency. And basically the Metro Conference is made up of every public high school located in Orange County. At the end of the 23 games, the games will be added, victories will be added up, and we'll see which side has more victories. And the concept is really the high school equivalent of a number, about half a dozen played at the college level, but the ACC versus Big Ten Challenge was the first chronologically. So this is the third game of the 23, third game of 7 that will be played today. Again, both sides, the Metro Conference and Florida contingency, have each won a game. And as we come down the last 30 seconds, Timber Creek remains in man-to-man.
Rembert to Douglas for 2.
So Douglas getting a pair of baskets here, really giving Eustis a lift when they need it here. Don't want to end that first half on a scoring drought if you're up down by more than double digits. And some good defense, body to body there, forced an off angle and off balance shot. And unfortunately, Eustis cannot capitalize on that poor possession by the Wolves.
That takes us to halftime, and it's a 10-point ball game. The Wolves lead the Panthers 38-28 at intermission here of game number 3.
Hero
This is shooting much better, 12 of 21, so just under. Out. So again, Mark, real quickly, the concept of the Metro versus Florida Challenge is each game there's a representative of the Metro Conference. The Metro Conference
Checking into the game for Eustis, number 44, Vandell Brown.
We be touching up, we don't f them little. Cause they be hating like all my haters go away. Make all my haters go away. Make all my haters go away. Make all my haters go away. But it feel better.
Putback is made by Tyree Patterson.
And so offensive rebounding there. And
And when you
All right, welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. We thought we might have a snoozer here, but it is quite the opposite as we close in on the last quarter of Game 3. Good inbound, and it's there. Number 4, Bradley Douglas on the inbound.
And that brings Douglas's total to 28 for the game. Really, if you look at an individual, it's been Douglas here that has rallied Eustis. He's an FABC All-State Class 6A third team, Orlando Sentinel All-Area fourth team, and a Florida Hoops Class of 2020 number 66. Certainly he's lived up to the billing, and especially here in the second half as he's brought Eustis back from a double-digit deficit to the lead. And now Timber Creek, again, remaining in man-to-man.
Foul called against number 3, Anthony Figueroa, his second, the team's 6th.
And by the way, Timber Creek has gone to more of the committee approach with 16 scored by Dylan Holloman and 13 by Zach Rembert.
Anthony Figueroa picks up 2 for the Wolves.
So 8 players have scored for the Wolves.
Jumper won't fall for Douglas. The Panthers chase down their own rebound.
And look for Douglas to get the last shot here. He's been taking every other one.
That takes us to the end of the third quarter, and it is a 1-point ball game as the Panthers take their first lead in the last couple minutes here of the third quarter, and we've gotten ourselves set up for a photo finish here in Game 3. 52-51 is the score with 8 minutes left in the ball game.
Who just scored?
Who scored?
Basket by number 1, Nate Rembert, to open up fourth quarter scoring. Answered by Esteban Diaz.
So Eustis, as we get a block here, outscored Timber Creek by 24-13 count in that third quarter.
Second chance basket is made by number 3.
And as
Figueroa.
you would expect, when a 12-point deficit becomes a lead, the stats pretty much are in favor of Eustis here as we start the fourth quarter.
Who just scored?
Nobody. So Timber Creek had a 9-point advantage at halftime at the free throw line. They're actually now facing a deficit. Eustis is now 12 of 22 from the line for the game, while Timber Creek is 11 of 17. Timber Creek continues to shoot the ball well from the floor, 18 of 36, 50% clip compared to 17 of 42 for Evans, so below 40%. Timber Creek holding a slight advantage in rebounds, 28-22, and turnovers remain decidedly in favors of Eustis, giving up only 3 compared to 13 for Timber Creek.
Douglas had a better look than he deserved there, and Macon gets the rebound.
And again, we talked about Bradley Douglas there towards the end of the third quarter. Really, he's been the man who's been at the forefront of this rally for Eustis.
Figueroa is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 10, Jarek Hutto. That's his 4th personal foul, and the team's 5th.
And we just saw him in action there. That was actually a rare miss since in the second half for Douglas. He has 28 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. But his overall stats are 11 of 19 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line.
So the free throws will put the Wolves back on top.
Yeah. And again, looking at the scoring as we get a foul here, a basket plus the continuation.
Robinson gets the basket, a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against number 10, John Macon, his 3rd, the team's 7th.
Timber Creek.
And we'll have some personnel changes for the Wolves.
Timber Creek has gone more to the committee approach with Dylan Holloman dropping 16, Zach Reiner complimenting him with another 13. The two have combined for 5 rebounds. Pierre Summers with 4 himself, and 8 players have scored for Timber Creek. So we got a barn burner here, as Keith Jackson would like to say, Mark. 57-57, just under 6 minutes left. Both teams going man-to-man the whole way.
Push is called against number 1, Nate Rembert, his 2nd, the team's 6th. Checking into the game for the Panthers, number 14, Tyree Patterson.
Corey Robinson coming down with that rebound, doing an excellent job of getting his body between the players under the basket.
Corey Robinson on the pass from Douglas.
And there you see transition created off that quick rebound and paying dividends. And again, we're going to have another turnover, the 15th of the game for Timber Creek.
And an opportunity here for them to, actually they've already retaken the lead thanks to that last basket, an opportunity to improve on that now, and it's going to be blocked by Elmahound.
Yeah, only the 4th turnover there for Eustis, a bit of a surprise. Very much the turnover story was what allowed Eustis to stay close enough during that first half when they were looking to find their footing.
Second chance basket scored by Dylan Holloman.
And there's exactly why coaches talk about offensive rebounding.
Bradley Douglas is fouled prior to the attempt, so he will not shoot 2, but he will shoot 1-and-1 bonus. The foul is called against Dylan Holloman. That's his 3rd personal foul. The team's 7th.
So Mark Douglas has certainly lived up to his the hype in his rankings in these All-American, All-State, and All-Area rankings. 29 points now. Chance to break 30 for Douglas.
Here, Summers checks in.
And now Douglas, 30 points. Again, he's now Bradley Douglas, 11 of 20 from the field and 4 of 4 from the free throw line.
Foul called against number 1, Nate Rembert, his 3rd, team 7th.
How you doing, sir?
Holloman at the line.
So Holloman up to 19 points now with 3 rebounds, make that 20.
And just like that, it's a new ball game.
61-61 here as we reach the midway point of the 4th quarter. Oh, beautiful move along the baseline, spin and return back to the inside.
Rembert picks up 2. Reiner can't get the 3 to go. Rembert can't get the 3 either. Reiner on the rebound. To the inside, spin in the paint. Wide left. Robinson to Douglas for a dunk.
So some fast and furious action there, Mark. Pace certainly picked up over the last half dozen possessions or so.
Pierre Summers answers for the Wolves.
And pretty much we've gone here in the first half of this 4th quarter. Whatever you can do, I can match.
Fouls called against Pierre Summers, his 3rd. The team's 9th. At the line shooting 1-and-1, Nate Rembert.
And again, while we have this stoppage here, and Rembert, by the way, has 9 points. This is the Metro versus Florida Challenge. You have a team from the Metro Conference playing in each game, taking on a team from the Florida contingency in each game. Every public high school in Orange County is a member of the Metro Conference. And on the other side, the schools that are not in the Metro Conference, see quite a few private schools here and quite a few schools from outside of Orange County, from different areas. And at the end of the day, at the end of the 23 games in 3 days, we will add up which representatives won more games.
Zach Reiners. So we're back to a new ball game. Now keep in mind, we have another game to start here at 1:45, which is obviously not going to happen.
So, by the way, Zach Reinert now up to 15 points as we get a turnover for Eustis. Eustis done an excellent job, again, of holding that ball, not turning it over. Only 5 turnovers throughout the game, and that really kept them within shouting distance during the first half when they were trying to find their footing. A 24-13 score in the third quarter really brought Eustis within a possession. And then they took the lead here early in that fourth quarter, continuing that momentum. Dylan Holloman now over 20 for the game. Unfortunately, 2 missed free throws. That certainly could come back and haunt the Wolves. Missed opportunity, some points left on the table in what is a 1-point ball game.
Double bonus.
Hold is called against number 11, Michael Brown. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 10th, and it puts the Panthers into double bonus. At the line, shooting 2, number 22, Conrad Thompson.
So Thompson now with 4 points. Oh, and just like Timber Creek, leaving some points on the table there.
Mookie Omaha for 3, the pass from Summers.
Stop, pop, and drop. Got the outlet pass there. Eustis challenged. Who was that?
23. Bradley Douglas is fouled behind the arc. He'll go to the line and shoot 3. Foul is called against number 32, Pierre Summers, his 3rd.
So on that last possession, Eustis challenged Alamode to go ahead and make a 3, and he answered and gave Timber Creek the lead now. And by the way, both teams are in the bonus, so we will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. That obviously will be a key point. So a lot of free throws in this game, Mark, too. Over 50 for the game, 29 at halftime. And that's important to mark. Of course, that also slows down the pace of the game and the flow. And as we go under 2 minutes here left in this ball game, both teams with opportunities to at least get the lead up to 1 possession. Neither has been able to capitalize.
The steal is just what the Panthers need. A good block there.
And again, there's what I'm talking about, missed opportunities, leaving points on the table, and that continues over here at this end with that missed field goal as well. More missed points, more points left on the table there.
Conrad Thompson on the pass from Corey Robinson.
So now we're dipping under a minute here. Both teams remaining in man-to-man. And what was a 12 to roughly most of the first half, a 12-point lead for Timber Creek. They now find themselves in a battle going back and forth.
Another turnover, another easy layup. It's done. Number 22, Conrad Thompson.
Turnovers have been Timber Creek's bugaboo throughout this whole game. It's 8:20 now for the Wolves.
Still a 1-possession ball game.
So as we go here into this timeout, those turnovers have been so huge. It's really negated their excellent shooting, 18 to 36 going into this third quarter. But but now 20-5 disadvantage in those turnovers. So again, you don't have to be a basketball guru to understand when you're turning the ball over 15 more times, you're certainly increasing the opportunity for your other team to negate the field goal percentage.
Full timeout is requested here by the Panthers. 72-69, the Panthers leading a one-possession ball game with 31 seconds to go. Dylan Holloman has 21 for Timber Creek. Zach Reinhardt has 15. Bradley Douglas leads all scorers with 34 for the Panthers.
So again, as you mentioned, Mark, 34 points for Douglas, lived up to his FABC All-State Class 6A third team, Orlando Sentinel All-Area fourth team, and Florida Hoops Class of 2020, number 66. 24 seconds here.
I don't think that's what they talked about in the timeout, Neil.
No, you know, I spent that whole timeout talking about turnovers, the differential, and how that's really been the difference. Despite Timber Creek shooting 50% from the field. And they come out and prove me right here.
So now it almost feels like they're going to have to foul. They don't have a choice. There goes. Yeah, Douglas is begging for an intentional. I don't think he's going to get one.
No, but again, it doesn't hurt.
Hold is called against Dylan Holloman. That's his fourth personal foul. At the line shooting double bonus is Bradley Douglas.
And as you just mentioned, Mark, 34 points for Douglas, 7 rebounds and assists.
And he's 6 of 7 at the free throw line today. Make it 7 of 8.
Yeah, that's critical point. Now a 2-possession game with 18 points, which means even if Timber Creek makes scores on the other end, they're going to have to foul Eustis on the subsequent possession.
See Panthers here leaving the key open. They are not going to attempt to contest the rebound.
"12 seconds here, gotta get a basket quickly. Stop, pop, and drop. Nice job there by Timber Creek.
Zach Reinhardt from Honoree for 3. And we'll pause for a full timeout requested by the Wolves. Timber Creek takes full timeout. And so we'll pause here to thank our partners who helped to make the Metro versus Florida Challenge possible, including Elevate Orlando, a civic nonprofit that helps students to grow in character and life skills. They're taught in the classroom, modeled through mentoring, and incorporated into all they do so students can apply them to their lives. Elevate is partnered with 14 Orange County public schools, has a 98% graduation rate and 96% post-secondary placement. We also want to thank Commissioner Kyle Becker for his ongoing support of Apopka High School and the Metro versus Florida Challenge. We thank our friends at Baptiste Orthodontics, bracing you and our community for success. Stop by for a free consultation at any of their 3 convenient Orlando locations, including their latest right here in Apopka. All right, welcome back to live action here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Should be an interesting last 9.5 seconds. We'll immediately get the foul.
Yeah, and now we're seeing the continuing effects of Douglas coming to the line, making both free throws, extending that lead from 1 possession to 2, even if the first half of the game plan, or what Timber Creek needed to do, was executed flawlessly, getting that 3-point lead and cutting the lead to 2 points in 1 possession. But now, Eustis, if they make 2 of these, you have a 2-possession lead again.
Pierre Summers is called on his 5th personal foul. He retires from the game with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Connor Isio is back into the game for him. Nate Rembert will be shooting double bonus.
So Rembert with 9 points, although nothing close to the 34 thrown in by Douglas. Rembert's points are very critical, and there's an example why. So you need that first free throw conversion to make it, to have an opportunity to get the lead over to 2 possessions and 4 points.
Full timeout requested by Eustis. So, Neil, for those of you who may be actually waiting for Game 4, which is Eagles versus the Patriots, rest assured we haven't forgotten about you. Coming up next year at the Metro versus Florida, we will have our 4th game. We are obviously running a few minutes behind, as that is supposed to start 5 minutes ago. We will do an abbreviated warm-up and then get right to that. Edgewater takes on Lake Brantley right after the conclusion of this game. All right, so one more shot coming up here.
Yeah, again, difference between a 1 possession and 2 possession game, 8.7 seconds left. Well, leaves the door open, missed table, points on the table.
For the tie, it's no good. That takes us to the end of the ball game. 75-72 in a real thriller here in game number 3. And Eustis comes from behind after trailing for all of the first half with a 3-point victory here in the 3rd game. And that means that the Metro Conference is now down 1-2 so far for the event. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out to support your Panther and Wolf athletes this afternoon. Don't go anywhere except the concession stand. More Metro versus Florida Challenge coming your way. Game number 4 up next. Edgewater takes on the Lake Brantley Patriots as we get ready to round the midpoint of day number 1. For those of you joining us on the live webcast, please remember that each of these games is a separate live stream, so you will need to exit out of this game and get into the next one, and we'll meet you there in about 10 minutes.